A snapshot is basically just being able to copy all of that and to paste it into another account, into as many accounts as you want. And so that all of those flows, all of those fields, all of those tags have all been replicated. So you can essentially build one product once or one system once, and you can sell it 100 times.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Level Up Your SaaS channel, your go-to hub for agencies and SaaS enthusiasts. If you're a marketer, agency, or entrepreneur looking for powerful tools, fresh ideas, and unfiltered hot takes, you're in the right place. On this channel, we dive deep into HighLevel, one of my favorite platforms, along with partner interviews, new software releases, and expert insights to help you scale faster. As a longtime HighLevel user and affiliate, I bring you the inside scoop on what's working right now. Plus, when you sign up for HighLevel through us at no extra cost to you, you'll unlock exclusive bonuses designed to help you scale faster. Check them out at levelupyoursaas.com. What you'll learn here is how to use HighLevel to grow and automate your business, exclusive partner interviews and software demos, insider news, strategies, and tips to help scale your agency, and live case studies, real-world examples, and expert insights. Whether you're just starting out or ready to take your agency to the next level, we've got you covered. Subscribe now and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Hey everybody, welcome. I have Michael back on our channel. Today we're going to be talking about his new product and service. First, he's rolling out a free course for everybody, and we'll throw it in the recording of today's episode. But his agency, what is it called again, Mike?
Agency Unbound.
Unbound. Yeah, I'm so
We actually just committed to the name literally 5 seconds ago, right before we hit play. So I thank you, Jenna, for making me actually commit instead of waffling about a name for another month.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to go with it and roll with it. I think that's so important. Sticking to something and then rolling with it, and then you can optimize it later. But anyway, this is his new snapshot service that I'm so excited to hear more about today and to share with everyone. So thanks for coming on today. I can't wait to hear more about it.
Thanks so much, Jenna. Yeah, it's come a long way, man. I remember seeing when you're relatively new to the podcast there, and I get to see all your posts there and all the engagement you're doing, and I just love all the stuff that you're doing. It's really awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I've done over 30 interviews now.
And you got the Sean Clark, right?
Yeah, that was fun.
Wasn't he right after me, or was I right after Sean? Do you remember?
Oh, that's a hard timeline. I think you were right after Sean.
Right after, yeah, man, that was a tough act to follow.
Yeah, I think you were in the afternoon. I think that's what it was.
What, Sean Clark in the morning, Cheeto in the evening, in the afternoon. Love it. Cool, yeah.
That sounds right to me.
Yeah, no, this last little bit, it's been really kind of fun journey trying to get out things. One of the big changes you mentioned, is my new Snapshot program. And I've been getting a lot of feedback from some friends of mine. Shout out to Jonathan. And that snapshots, like we're always talking about snapshots a lot of times. And there's a lot of people that mention it. Like I'm known as like the snapshot guy. And one thing I've been realizing is that there's so much more to HighLevel than snapshots. And there's an underlying process that works whether you were actually building a snapshot or not. And so I did want to, one of the things that's been sitting on my computer that I've been building for the last 5 years is just all these SOPs, how to update a snapshot. How do you make a basic map of a workflow? How do you document those things? These are stuff I've been giving out a lot. And I've been trying to actually not trying, but I put it all together in like a free course just because I need all of HighLevel just having that information, something that people can train, they can just put their team through and just get a lot of these basic fundamentals, because I love snapshots, but a lot of people shy away from snapshots because they don't have the basics in place. If you don't know how to document, if you don't know how to make a map, and if you don't know how to make a set of test cases to prove that it's all working, there's no point going to a snapshot because it's going to be a big, complicated mess. And, so that's what I've been trying to do with the free course, is to just give everybody the basics so that we can all start doing something a little more fun.
Yeah, for sure. And for anybody who hasn't heard our past episode, how would you explain what a snapshot is?
For sure. It's a great question because I always forget to talk about it. A snapshot for a lot of people is it's like a picture or a template of one of your sub accounts. So let's say you have just one sub account in your high level account and you go and build it out. Maybe it's just for you. You build out your workflows, you get custom fields, you have some custom values and tags. Well, a snapshot is basically just being able to copy all of that and to paste it into another account, into as many accounts as you want. And so that all of those flows, all of those fields, all of those tags have all been replicated. So you can essentially build one product once or one system once, and you can sell it 100 times. That's the promise anyway. That's what a snapshot allows you to do, is to take one account and sell it 100 times. So you could be a lot more scalable.
And remind us what doesn't get copied over into a snapshot.
Oh, what doesn't get copied over? Well, there's a lot that doesn't. Is there anything specific that you're like, what are you looking
Well,
for on
just
that?
like people who are starting to deploy their first couple snapshots or
Mhm.
making their first couple, what should they be looking for that isn't gonna come over to the next account?
Oh, okay. So like some of the things like the actual customized parts, like the business name and the business phone numbers, those things aren't. But almost everything pretty much is in the snapshot now. Everything from dashboards. That's what I'm thinking. It's like trying to think of what it doesn't get over. It literally lets you kind of bring over almost everything.
Yes, I would say the only things I would exclude for that is the actual like value and the custom values and the fields. So that sort of stuff that's more specific to the actual sub account isn't going to come over. It's just like the actual text and build out portions, but
Mhm.
not the content that's specific to the sub account.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Now that's level 2, right? So once you have your account, one of the first things, the problems you're going to run into when you're copying it over is, but that's all my stuff, my name's on it, my emails and all that. So with the snapshot, there's something called a custom value that if you've only built one account, you might not have used custom values as much, but a custom value allows you to, again, put something in once, like the name of a product, one of your products, right? You can have a custom value, and instead of having to update it in every single email and on every single funnel page, you could just use a custom value, fill it out once, and it will update everywhere. Now, the cool part is once you get a snapshot, you can, if you use custom values kind of strategically, those things, when you make the snapshot, you could change the custom values and customize them for that new account. And now you have a really fast way of making it very personal, really fast. Well, one of the first things people forget when they first start with a snapshot is they have all of their own personal stuff in it. They don't use any custom values. So when they copy things over, they have like their personal business details patterned throughout. So when it comes to a snapshot, of the first thing you should be doing if you want to be able to do one to many is to make a snapshot of your account, put it to a new sub account, and make that clean. Get rid of all of your own personal details, clean out anything that is more particular or personal to your business, and then make a snapshot of that second account. Because now when you deliver that snapshot, it's clean. There's none of your junk. You don't have to delete anything after. And it also means that you now don't have to manage your account plus what's in the snapshot and what's mine and what's part of the snapshot. And it gets really messy. So keep things clean like that.
Love it. Now can we dive deep in what's all attributed to this new program?
For sure. So one of the challenges, like I've been, I've helped a lot of agencies get to gold SaaS. I'm currently working full time for Vertical Action, which is one of 22 diamond agencies, which means diamond SaaS award just basically means we have over 1,000 accounts, 1,000 paid accounts. And I've also been consulting for agencies for a long while. And one of my biggest pet peeves is really this. And tell me, Jenna, if you've noticed this. When you first get into high level, your brain explodes with all this cool stuff. Like, oh man, I can do this. I can launch these campaigns. I can make these really cool builds and I can really like solve some really complicated problems that are going to bring a ton of value to people. And I can have this really cool system that does this and this and that. And you get all these really great ideas on how to use high level and all of its potential. But then something goes wrong. It gets really complicated. It's not as easy as you think. And once you start adding all these features in your snapshot, well, now you have a lot of things to fix. Now you have a lot of things that you have to juggle, and you have to get really things get complicated. And after you've gotten 10 or so accounts like this, basically your agency comes to a halt. And so, what's the solution that almost everybody's saying? They're saying, well, don't put any of those features in. Simplify it. Joe, all those cool ideas that you had that got your mind kind of like opened up to the possibilities of what you could do with high level, you basically get to a spot where you're told, no, 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 you're not supposed to do that. Just do simple features, just all the stuff, like the basic, keep it simple. But why did you come to high level to do all that? Why did you need what's the whole point of having all these cool tools? It's like having like 10 Ferraris in your garage, but you don't have a driver's license. It's like, oh, these are all my cars. I can go and drive them. It's like, technically you could, but you really shouldn't. It's really dangerous to drive them.
Yep.
Blows my mind. So that's the problem. And the reasons for that's many. One of them is just, your costs go up as you try to get more clients. You get more clients, your churn goes up. But if you don't have a unique product, if you're not solving something different that other people are solving, eventually it's kind of hard to stand out. Now, at the lower levels, it's actually better to keep things. Like when you're just getting started, yes, it is important to have a simple product. But when you get into those mid-size agencies, once you start getting up to those 40 to 50 clients, having basic things doesn't cut it anymore. You can't just sell for a couple $100 basic features without a lot of extra effort somewhere else. And so what that really hurts me, because I think there's so much more potential that could be unlocked right now with high level. And it's all hiding behind the fact that nobody actually knows how to scale. We know how to dumb down our product, but we don't know how to scale. So I've created a program which is all of the things that actually fix problems. So instead of just dumbing things down, how do we fix the process so you can actually do all those cool things, that you can do those things that really provide a unique experience that no other agency's doing. And I created it's a monthly program where I have absolutely everything that I've known. I'm just putting it all out there, SOPs. There's snapshot examples of some of the more complicated design builds, things like tag routers and other words that might fly over a lot of people's heads. People haven't heard them before. But we go in and we explain all these different ways of architecting and designing a snapshot. It's basically my way of having a community where we're constantly evolving, because high level's evolving too, right? And so that's everything. I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more that I could talk about, but that's what it's for. It's for those agencies that have something of value and they want to start scaling and they want to bring their team. They need their team to get there. And that's who it's really for, is to kind of having us all grow together.
That's exciting. And you're also providing weekly calls?
Yes, there's weekly calls. There's a little community group in a high level member community. We're going to be having some challenges as well. I'll have special events, where we kind of like, hey, let's all try and bring some accountability to each other. As I said, a lot of SOPs that we're going to be developing. And even if you're a freelancer too, if you're somebody who has already mastered all the basics, I'm putting a lot of my discovery call checklists. Like, how do you walk a client or an agency client through a discovery call and map things out so that the project will actually launch, because that's another challenge too. It's like, if you're a high level expert, there's a million people who know how to build, but there's not a lot of people that know how to build things that actually are still going to work 6 months down the road, right? You got to build it. So I want to be able to teach that, and also how to help the agency see that your vision too.
Love it. I'm excited to hear more about it. And what is your pricing like for that?
It's going to be 99 bucks a month for the membership. Gets you all the tools, gets you into the membership, gets you the full course. It'll take you many hours to get through. I got videos. There's all, it's going to be tons of things on that. I also have some certification programs, but more importantly, even before that, is because one thing that when it comes to doing courses, it's really important to make sure that you're ready for a course like this. So this isn't going to be one of those courses that, hey, you just come into it and instant cash comes and hits you. So I designed a free course which has all of the basics of snapshots that you can put yourself through. You can train your team on it, and I really want people to get the free content first and go through and take the quiz and make sure that you're ready for it. And if you're sure, like, hey, Mike, I don't need no stinking free stuff. Get me right to the big. Sure, I'll gladly have you. But what I really wanted to give for the community is to get all 100,000 people that are subscribed to HighLevel. I just wanted a really dedicated course that I spent probably at least 100 hours building, putting in on the content, just tweaking it right. And I just want you to be able to bring your team, get them trained on the basics, like how to make a map, how to document something so that you can actually hand it off to another team member. How do you know if it works? How do you test a snapshot so that it actually works? And then how do you actually launch a snapshot? And how do you update it without everything blowing up in your face? So I
Mhm.
have some free content that I want everyone to get first. And that's the best way to know if the membership is for you or not, is take the course. And if your brain's lighting up and you're going, man, all this is clicking and I can't wait to do more, let's get you into the next portion. Let's start getting you certified. And yeah, so that's the main thing that I wanted people to get, is to make sure that we're building real skills and we're doing something that's never really, and getting you to a spot where you could do something that's never been done. And yeah, that's my hope.
That's exciting. And would you say that both of these courses are above like the high level course that they put out?
It's meant to be there. I'm not teaching basic high level skills. This is all assuming that you know how to use high level. I really wanted to make sure that this course is about the strategy. I wanted to make this about how do you as a team manage snapshots? How do you run a meeting, on a monthly basis to keep your snapshots updated? I wanted to be more about the operations of running a high level agency at scale, and not as much about how do you do things, how do you do like the basics in that. So yes, it's definitely more of an intermediate, but the free course, I kept all of the complicated stuff out. I really wanted it to be something that you can learn in tandem, but it's really the basics of building any automation in high level. So if you're already gotten a couple of the basics down, the free course will be still very accessible. And it'll be a good start to see where you need to grow first.
Very cool. I would love to get better at is not only, and this is just me personally, but being better at delegating and being better at explaining to customers, like, here is what we loaded into your account and here's how you can use it. And I feel like this will be such a great tool to be able to explain it in a way that they can relate to and be like, okay, this is because when they do get into high level, it's like a whole new system and it's unlike a lot of CRMs out there because it has so much to it. And so when they get in there and if you do have a snapshot loaded, they're like, they don't even know how to put all the pieces together in their head. That for me has been one hard thing to kind of relay. Okay, this is what we put in here and this is why, and this is how it's going to work for you in the real world. So I think if someone like Michael can come along and like really teach us to agencies, I feel like it'll be like a silver light bulb above all of our heads.
Well, we
Just,
could talk about that though right now, or can't we?
yeah,
So
let's do
like,
it.
what's the hardest part about delegating things to people? Like,
Me?
yeah.
Okay. I would say for me, the hardest part about that is not being clear enough, even though Matt has been phenomenal about like teaching me the layout for it. I still just I don't know. He
Was
gives us
it do you,
four layouts for it and I just like I don't slow down enough for it. So, and I need to slow down and be like, okay, this is the vision for what I want done. These are the resources you have. This is what it should look like done. He gives us four things. It's vision, resources, I forget them now. I'll have to look it up.
I don't know that framework, and I would love to learn it.
Yeah.
But let's even just go to the actual problem first, right? Like when you want to delegate something, right? I'm going to maybe fill in the blanks and help you out here. One of the things that tell me if you've seen this before, where you want to get somebody to start, hey, can you start doing the tech support for me? Can you maybe work on the snapshot for me? But they don't know how everything works, right? At the end of the day, it's like they might know a lot of it, but there's always something that they need you for. Or if there's something that if they go and they build something, do you feel comfortable them changing things without you knowing and the implications, right? Because you build something here and then over here, it kind of like messes up. Have you ever run it? Is that part of it
Exactly.
at all?
So
Mhm.
if something gets built in there and they don't take account of this part that was already built, it's like, oh, you forgot. Look, we talked about this part that you didn't take into account that you built here.
Yeah. There's a
So I
lot.
think,
It's uncomfortable, right?
yeah,
Okay. So one of the things here's where I'm going to really put you on the spot. Do you have everything in your snapshot written down?
I wouldn't say everything. I have a pretty good SOP, which I'm not fantastic at writing, but I feel like it's a pretty good SOP as far as SOPs go.
Cool. So the first thing the easiest way that I believe is that you need everything in your snapshot written down because almost everything is dangerous because almost everything, one of the things when it comes to like, oh, you know what? I got a great example. Have you ever seen have you ever looked up a recipe online?
Yes.
And do you know the recipes where you're trying to find like just the recipe and then there's like all this extra text in it and you're trying to scroll and find the actual recipe in it and they go on some big blog and they're
Yeah, it's
long-winded
every
thing,
recipe anymore.
every recipe.
Yeah.
And then what happens if you don't actually find it's like I don't even just want the basic recipe. I want to know it's like a certain part. And if they don't have that information,
Yeah.
what happened? Do you trust? How well do you trust like that website or that recipe? Well, sorry, you lose trust in it, right?
Yeah, I
And
just go
now,
to the next one.
yeah, you go to the next one, and maybe there's that website. You don't go for any of the recipes from that website again, right? Because you've lost that trust that you're going to find what you need,
Yeah.
right? So this happens all the time with documentation. You're trying to hand it off to your team, and why isn't my team using it, right? Well, it's because at some point they probably went to your SOP, and one, it took them forever to find what they needed, or two, you didn't actually have what they needed there. So they're going to say, well, why even bother? I'm just going to ignore the documentation and I'm just going to figure it out, or I'm going to go and ask Jenna, right? So those are the two big dangers with SOPs and documentation is one, it takes too long to find what they need, so they don't bother, or two, it's not there. The solution for that is you need to have a very simple process for documenting everything in your snapshot. Because once it's all written down, you now have one, and you can verify that it's all there. One, it's going to build trust. Your team members might actually start using it because if it's either there and if it's not there, you can build that accountability that you'll have it in there. And then two, you have to make it simple enough and practical so that people can actually find it. And the beauty is that if you actually do all your documentation like that, it actually means you can hand things off easier and if you have your team that also documents as they go, it also brings accountability to you and trust to you because everything that they change, you can see all that you should be marking all those changes. So it's one of those little circles of you need as the agency owner to hand things off. You need to know and trust that your team has done everything. And they need to trust that the documentations actually has what they need. So I know it sounds obvious. We should do it all, but how do we make it simple? So the simple way is you need a spreadsheet with 5 columns. You need one. What is the name of the asset? Workflow, the tag, the custom field. Anytime you build anything in your snapshot, you add something in, or anything on that, you go and you write down the name of what you did in your spreadsheet. Second thing you're going to need is what type of asset is it, right? So you have the name, it's a workflow, it's a tag. Third, 1-2 sentence, what does this do? Simple, not a page or 10 pages or giant thing. We need 1 or 2 simple sentences that says, what does this workflow do? It takes a booked lead and it sends a 3 email follow-up reminder for the sales call, right? What does undecided mean? What is that tag for? Oh, the undecided tag is manually added by the salesperson if the person is undecided and they still want to follow up, because it'll trigger, or this tag will trigger that workflow over there. When you build it, you need to write that down so that the knowledge of why you built it is still there. And again, very, very simple. The next thing you need is, how do you set this up in the snapshot? So you make a new account. What do I got to do? I got to add the salesperson who is assigned to user. I got to customize that one email that's in it. You need that listed out on everything. There is 1 or 2 other ones, but I want to stop and just focus on those ones there. I have it all in the training too, right? So you can get all the rest. But just if you write just those key things down, that's all your documentation needs to be. It does not need to be a lengthy, this isn't like your onboarding process. It's not a high level view of anything. It's the raw data of what does everything do and why. And if you have that, now you have something you can hand off that's practical, that's organized, that people can find easily, your team can use. And then more importantly, when they change things, they can write down, hey, we changed it changed it on this date, and this is what we did. So you, as the person who wants to delegate, you've given them a documentation. You've just told them all they have to do is log what their changes are. So you can see the changes. And if you need to step in, now you only have to see a high level view of what is the changes. And now you have a little bit more trust, right? Because you have that accountability of writing things down. And now you only need to step in if they actually get stuck, or if maybe there's something you want to look over. Right before you go live, you go through all their changes, you go and proof check it, you quality control it. That's as simple as it gets, man.
Love it. Well, cool. I'm excited to see this new program load out. And you've been working with a couple agency and freelancers recently, right?
Yep, we had the Cabbage Crew. We had a little small group, and I did a 1-month intensive training, which is the beta version of my certification, because I don't believe a quiz is a way that you can fully certify somebody. I think the only way is if you want to know people that, hey, Mike, how do you follow? I want somebody that, do you know anyone that follows your system? The only people I'm going to trust are people that I've actually seen do the work. So I did a test with them, and it was super successful, changed how they do business now. They're being able to manage more, do so much more. It's super cool to do. And yeah, that was our crew there. And yeah, we just finished that. So now that's going to be the certification for the people who want to go further. Like if you want me to come in, teach your team how to do that, that will be that.
Cool. And this agency, we're calling it one more time, Agency
Unbound is going to be the
Unbound.
name of the monthly, because we need to unlock and unbind you from all of the limiting processes and lack of documentation. When you see, I want you to imagine a world where the high level tools that you have are actually working for you, allowing you to do things. And that's what that program is going to do. It's going to really unlock the potential of high level for you and your team.
Cool. And this is for agency owners and freelancers.
It's for anyone that is already making money in high level, that wants to, that has something that they want to get done, and they need the tools and the processes to do it from someone who's already kind of that blazed that trail, and it's done it in several different agencies that works, whether it's at one person for your first couple clients, or works at if you got 1,000 clients. The system, it has to actually scale through all of that.
Very cool. Well, any last minute tips, reminders, etc. when it comes to snapshots?
When it comes to snapshots, the number one thing, there's so many number one things. There's so many other things, but I would say is I'll say two things. One, it's a team sport. It's not a solo venture. Even if you're a solo freelancer and all that, Snapshots is understanding that you need to make other people successful. And it's not about if you want to be successful in HighLevel or in anything, I'd wager, you have to really have a heart and a mindset of making other people successful, not just your clients, but the tech support people that are going to be like doing the tech support on your Snapshot, your account managers. You need to make them successful. How you build your Snapshot and how you design your systems, you have to have in mind all of the people that are going to interact, from the lead that goes through the sales process to the admin or salesperson who's there managing that lead, to all of the tech people, the agent. You need to really have a heart for making everyone successful. And that one to me is really the most important thing, that if you really take that to heart and put that in everything you do, it'll just make everything really better. So maybe that is my one tip, is just really make sure that you're focused on other people and don't try and do everything alone. You need to bring people in, get other people's opinions, get other insights. And I've even seen that even in the program that I've rewritten this program a couple times in the last month. I thought it was finished a month ago, but I've had to rewrite it. Why? Because it never finished, right? I need more. I've gotten input and I need it to actually work for other people. It can't just work for me, right? So,
Right.
yeah, man, help other people, make other people successful, and it'll come back to you.
Yeah, and I love that you say that. And that's really why I started my Facebook group for agency owners. I wanted a place where people could just come and ask their questions. And I love that I have people in there that are so generous with like answering other people's questions and providing value. So if you're not a part of my group yet, jump on in and ask away. There's people that are very successful in my group to people who are just starting out. So don't be afraid to come in and just ask the questions that you want, that are on your mind and on your heart. People are very, very generous with their time and their thoughts. And we do free weekly Thursday night calls. So don't be afraid to come in, ask your questions again. And the people that come to those calls are again very valuable, or very generous with their time and explaining what's on working for them. And so you're welcome to come to any of those if you're hearing this and watching the recording. But thanks again for coming on, Michael. We sure appreciate it and love hearing your insights on snapshot management.
It's a pleasure, Jenna. And a little backstory to this is like why I extra appreciate it. I'm in Facebook jail, not even Facebook jail. I'm on the Facebook firing line, like account fully banned. So I really appreciate this opportunity and you opening your door. And as I said, I definitely need to come to those Thursday things now there. So I'll pop into one or two of them.
Good. Well, I'll have to DM you because I'll have to email them to you now because you're not on the.
Or you can come into the community group and poke me there.
Yeah, for sure. All right. We'll see you later, Michael.
All right. Take care, Jenna.
And that's it for today's video. I hope you found this helpful and some actionable insights to grow your business. But we're just getting started. If you want more tips, tools, and strategies to scale your business and marketing, be sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update, and drop a comment below. I sure love to hear your thoughts or answer any questions. If you're ready to take your agency to the next level, be sure to head on over to our site, levelupyoursaas.com. We've got everything you need to grow, automate, and scale. Ready to get started with HighLevel or upgrade? I've got all the links below for you. Just a quick reminder, I'm a HighLevel affiliate, not an employee. And I only recommend it because I use it every day in my business. Signing up through my link costs you nothing extra, but you'll get the exclusive tools, training, and courses to help you succeed. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.